on Europe's northern frontier, where Poland meets Russia. This is where Europe begins. For some, this strip of land, covering the full Polish border with Russia, is currently perceived as a terror lane in a geopolitical sense. But for us, this is simply home. It's where families raise their children and farmers work the same fields their parents once did. For decades, our border has been seen as remote and unstable. That is why in 2019, our municipalities joined forces and created the Association of Warmia and Missouri Border Municipalities. We are 16 local governments working together across this frontier zone. We are the front line of the European Union. We face the structural challenges of low population density, weak infrastructure, rapid depopulation, and socioeconomic marginalization. In 2021, we decided we would not wait for someone else to fix our problems. We would take ownership of our future. We created the Pograniczy 2030 strategy, an alliance built on cooperation and trust. We planned strategic projects like magnetic borderland and green borderland. We were ready to build, but the world changed. The Russian aggression on Ukraine created what people now call the New Iron Curtain. It became a geopolitical fault line. All cross-border cooperation was suspended. This curtain is not just a symbol, it generates hybrid threats, military concerns, and, worst of all, a drainage of population. We suddenly found ourselves on Europe's first row, close enough to feel the heat of every crisis. We welcome the Catching Up Regions initiative and the new pact for the Eastern Border regions. But we need the tools to match our reality. We need capacity, not charity. Speed, not bureaucracy. Partnership, not paternalism. Today, as the QRI Eastern Border Initiative engages with us, our message is clear. The pact must deliver three things. 1. Trust and special status. Border municipalities perform a European function. We defend the Union's borders and absorb shocks. We need special status and co-financing up to 95% for key projects, as we cannot match the budgets of capital cities. 2. Peaceabide and flexibility. When crises strike, waiting 2 years for an administrative amendment is simply impossible. We need the power to react quickly and repurpose existing infrastructure without losing EU funding. A perfect example is our modern spa complex in Gorowo-Iłowieckie, built with 14 million euros of EU funding. According to the project rules, we are still expected to show an increase in health tourism indicators. But how can we measure tourism when the border next door has become a geopolitical fault line? Who comes to relax when there are soldiers across the fence? We need the flexibility to transform it into the resilience hub. Instead of measuring tourist nights, we need to measure lives supported, the real metric of resilience. 3. Investment in people and talent. If young people leave, the frontier becomes an empty shell. Let's create frontline Erasmus programs for professionals in medicine, IT, and education to ensure this border will live. The pact must deliver simplified access to funds, rapid crisis support, and cross-sector cooperation, connecting health, defense, education, and the green transition. It should empower local governments not as beneficiaries, but as partners of European security and development. We are ready to turn this pact from a policy document into a living alliance between people who stand in Europe's first row, give border municipalities the tools, trust, and special treatment they need. And we will turn Europe's hardest edge into a frontier that heals.